Hi there everybody, this is David, and I have some super exciting news for y'all today. This just came out a couple of days ago, and it is a rumor. It has not yet been confirmed by Square Enix. It is still a rumor, so take it with a grain of salt, do with it what you will, but I love RPGs, I love SNES sort of games, and I love this news, and I just kind of want to talk about it, and it's my channel, and if I want to talk about stuff, I'm allowed to talk about stuff. Okay, so here we have a report by a leaker who is saying that, guess what? Looks like there is Live Alive 2 in development. This is super duper duper exciting, and I want to tell you all about it and what he has to say about it, and that's totally worth the sub as you come and you join a party and you level on up with me. Thank you so much for your sub, your like, and your brand new hype. It helps me out a ton. So, what we have here, it looks like this game has been in development since at least 2024. The original Live Alive came out back on the SNES in 1994, and then it was remade by Team Asano in HD 2D, and it came out back in 2022. It must have sold decently well, or at least it was easy to make, because, they went ahead and they started doing a sequel. And we kind of knew a little bit about this, because another leaker, and say what you will about this leaker, but, say what you will about the person, but their leaks were always correct, so that's all I really care about. This is from the leaker Midori, and they said back when they said, would you like to play a new Live Alive title? And then, in addition to that, back in 2024, they also said, Dragon Quest HD 2D and Octopath Traveler are not the only new titles that Team Asano are developing right now. There is another title in development from Team Asano, and it is a title that is a sequel to a previous title, which would be Live Alive. It goes on to say this is unannounced information. So, now we have another leak, and this is from Nash Weedle, and they say Live Alive 2 is still in development. As I told you, in 2024, they are working on a sequel to the fantastic Square game, and then they go on to release a little bit more details right here. And I watched their video, and it was in Spanish, but I translated it using the power of closed captioning and Google Translate. And they go on to say about this, they say, the information that I've received is that the sequel will break the mold of the first game with completely new and fascinating eras. Among them, I've been told that they've considered a chapter set in ancient Egypt, another set in post-apocalyptic cyberpunk area, and another focused more on Norse mythology and the Vikings. It will remain in the same essence as the first game, with independent stories and then a common link that will blow our minds away. So yeah, it looks like there's going to be like 7 chapters, 7 different time periods, 7 different eras, and then one final chapter that can kind of link them all together, which is so freaking cool. Now, I was never the biggest fan of Live Alive back on the SNES. It just seemed kind of like, I don't know, cheap. I remember back whenever it was like first translated, and it got its first translation like the late 90s or so. I think I played it when I was probably in college through emulation. And everybody was going on and on and on about it. This is a lost hidden gem by Square Enix. Oh, this thing's so great. Then I played it and I'm like, what's so great about it? You know what I mean? Like, there was some chapters that were just kind of like not really much going on, like the fighting chapter and the western chapter. But then there were some, more meaty chapters, like the ninja chapter and stuff like that. So I hope that in this sequel, they increase the size of each chapter. And we all know that, these are HD 2D games. They can easily make them. They are cheap to do. And they can do this to kind of like stay afloat. We also know that back in the day, Square Enix said that they were canceling a whole bunch of projects. And we don't know what was canceled. But it looks like this is one that was in the works that was not canceled, which is really freaking cool. I think it would be nice if not only we got these time periods and everything, but it took on more of like maybe a Dragon Quest IV style of the game, where you follow each chapter and you go in time period by time period by time period, and then in the last chapter, they all meet up, and it's like a huge freaking chapter, kind of like Chapter 5 in Dragon Quest IV. I think that would be absolutely amazing. So, again, we don't know if this is true. It is still a rumor, but I think it's just fun to talk about, what the word on the street is, what's going on in RPG world and all that kind of stuff. And it's just fun to talk about these sort of things. So now I want to hear from y'all, what do you think about this news? Do you think that we're going to be getting Alive 2? I mean, we don't really know what Team Asano is working on, honestly. They just finished up Adventures of Elliot. We don't know if they're working on the Dragon Quest Zenithon trilogy. We have no idea. They haven't announced those yet. And because 7 was done in a different style, they might be doing the Zenithon trilogy in a different style than HD 2D, so we don't really know what's going on with them. So maybe this is, their next game. That's pretty cool. And it's also nice that they're looking back into their SNES library and they're saying, okay, we can make sequels of these older games. I would love to see some sequels from the SNES library. Maybe Chrono Trigger? That would be nice. Maybe like Treasures of the Rudra, Treasure Hunter G, Bahamut Lagoon. All those would be absolutely fantastic. Fantastic things for them to go back, dip into, and give us. So this is great news as far as I'm concerned. But now, what do you think about this? Let me know in the comments, and as always, have a good day.